When you change jobs, you often can't make a clean break.
Yeah, most people have an old 401k they need to roll over, or they have to combine it with another plan. Joining us live this afternoon, certified financial planner Andrea Cave with Preferred Financial Group. I think a lot of people get confused by that process too.
It can be a little, it's not always something that's clear cut. When you leave a plan, if you don't have a new plan to roll it into, nothing really happens. It's not a life-changing event. It can stay there unless the plan requires that you take it.
You just don't get the match from the company.
You don't get the match, and you can't contribute any longer. So if you have an old 401k and you don't work there any longer, you can't still make contributions to it, even if you're not working there any longer. You can sometimes, if the employer allows it, move it to a new plan at your new employer. But a lot of people, the average American changes jobs 7 times in their lifetime. They wind up with a lot of old plans, and they don't really keep track of them. You can move them into a self-directed IRA is one option. I always caution people against just having the company send you a check. Some people think they can put it into a plan that way, but they automatically will withhold 20% of federal tax, and if you're under 59.5, there's a 10% penalty. So if you've done it very recently, sometimes you can reverse it, but by the time the tax bill comes in April, it's too late.
Where are you going to get the best return? If you let that sit, if it's an old 401k, letting it sit there, or if the company gives you an option to put it into a plan that you're going to keep growing, is that the best way to go?
Well, returns are based on a lot of different things, how your account is actually invested. So you have a limited number of investment options many times in a 401k or a 403b plan. When you move to a self-directed IRA, really the world's your oyster. You can invest in whatever you'd like. Also, sometimes company-sponsored plans have higher costs associated with them, which will erode at your return over a long period of time. So it's a confusing process. Sometimes it requires a spouse signature here in Wisconsin because we're a community property state, so you want to make sure you do everything properly. And lastly, if people will roll them into a self-directed or at least consolidate them into their current employer's plan, it makes those life change events like divorces, somebody passing away, having children, getting married, making your beneficiary designation changes much easier than having to chase down maybe 7 or 5 different companies, and it makes it easier to manage and keep your eye on.
All right, Andrea Cave, thank you.
Have a question for any of our experts? Email them, asktheexpert, today's TMJ4.com. You can also leave a voicemail that